Hulk. Hulk was always dangerous, but World War Hulk proved he could be the most destructive force in Marvel history. And this time, it wasn't because he lost control. It was because he knew exactly what he was doing. The Illuminati, Earth's smartest heroes, decided Hulk was too unstable. After a rampage nearly killed hundreds, they tricked him onto a spaceship and launched him into deep space. The Illuminati chose exile. Hulk was launched off Earth and crash-landed on Sakaar, a brutal planet built on blood sport and survival. He fought his way from slave to champion, found peace, found love, even had a child on the way. Then the ship that brought him there, the one built by the Illuminati, exploded. His wife and unborn son gone, instantly. That's when Hulk snapped, but not in blind rage, in focused, brutal vengeance. He returned to Earth with an army, tore through Black Bolt, crushed Iron Man, and humiliated Doctor Strange. He took over Madison Square Garden and turned it into a gladiator arena, forcing Earth's heroes to battle like he once had. And nobody could stop him. Not the Avengers, not the X-Men, not the Sentry. He didn't just attack individuals, he attacked the idea that heroes knew best. He made them feel the betrayal, the loss, the fury, the same pain they had caused him. By the time the dust settled, cities were in ruins, reputations destroyed, and Hulk had nearly pushed the planet past the point of no return. Batman. Now, Batman didn't scream, he didn't rage, he got violated, and then he got surgical. You see, after Zatanna and the Justice League erased his memory for calling out their mind-wiping of villains, Bruce Wayne hit a wall. He'd always been the guy with a plan. After the mind wipe, the message was clear. The League saw him as a threat, so he started acting like one. He built Brother Eye, an AI satellite designed to track every hero on Earth. Not villains, heroes. He prepared for the worst. If any hero crossed the line, he would activate the OMAX, lethal cyborgs disguised as ordinary civilians. His reason was simple: I need to be ready. But what he triggered was chaos. Brother Eye broke free of his control and activated a full-on worldwide surveillance war. The OMAX turned on innocents. Superheroes were hunted. Villains exploited the system. And Batman had no kill switch. This wasn't Tower of Babel coldness. This was paranoia metastasized. One memory wipe broke his trust, and from there, he designed an entire extinction event. Quietly, efficiently. The League eventually uncovered everything. Batman didn't flinch. No apology, no regret, just cold justification. He logged the moment like any other, calculated and deliberate. In his mind, they were the ones who crossed the line first. What made this a meltdown wasn't the tech, it was the mindset. Batman decided the League couldn't be trusted, so he built a system to replace them. He became the threat he swore to neutralize. Not brainwashed, not corrupted, just Bruce Wayne, with a grudge and the world's most dangerous mainframe. Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch didn't just crash out. She rewrote the universe because her grief was too loud to ignore. It started with Avengers disassembled. Wanda remembered something Agatha Harkness had made her forget. Her children. Not kidnapped, not hidden, erased. The moment that memory came back, the breakdown was instant. Wanda wasn't angry, she was broken. And she made the entire world feel it. She killed Vision, the man she loved, by ripping him apart in front of the Avengers. Hawkeye died in a massive explosion. Scott Lang vanished in a time anomaly, and nobody saw it coming. The deaths looked like random chaos, but every thread pointed back to Wanda's subconscious rage, fueled by her reality-warping powers spiraling out of control. But that was just the warm-up. After Doctor Strange finally stopped her, Magneto took her in. That led to House of M, Wanda's rewritten reality where mutants ruled the Earth. Heroes got the lives they always dreamed of, and she got her children back. It was beautiful. Until it wasn't. The moment she realized she had just given everyone a fantasy, the switch flipped again. And this time, she whispered 3 words that detonated the entire mutant race. No more mutants. Over 90% of mutants lost their powers instantly. Some died on the spot, falling from the sky, suffocating without abilities, or simply fading into nothing. The mutant gene itself nearly went extinct in one sentence. It was trauma with no off switch. Daredevil. Matt Murdock built his life on guilt, but every time he tried to carry the weight, it crushed him deeper. The meltdown didn't come with a single explosion. It came in layers of grief, anger, and brutal decisions that turned Daredevil into something darker. It started with the death of Karen Page, the love of his life. She was murdered by Bullseye, the same man who had already killed Elektra. 2 women Matt couldn't save, and when Bullseye showed his face again, Daredevil didn't hold back. He carved a bullseye into his forehead with a blade, not to kill him, but to mark him forever. That was just the beginning. In Guardian Devil, Mysterio manipulated Matt into thinking a baby was the Antichrist. Confused, hallucinating, and spiraling, Daredevil nearly threw the infant off a rooftop. He was stopped, barely, When he found Mysterio, he didn't throw punches. He broke the villain down with words so cruel, so precise, that Mysterio took his own life. Then came Born Again. Kingpin discovered Matt's identity and destroyed him methodically. Career gone, home blown up, sanity in pieces. Matt retaliated not as a lawyer or a hero, but as a man pushed to his limits. By the time Shadowland hit, Daredevil had taken over the Hand, a clan of assassins, and ruled Hell's Kitchen like a dictator. He killed Bullseye in cold blood. The man who never crossed that line crossed it proudly, standing over Bullseye's body with zero hesitation. This wasn't a slow descent. It was a man who kept losing everything until he chose to stop caring. And when Daredevil stopped caring, the devil took full control. Moon Knight. Moon Knight was always hanging on by a thread, but during his darkest stretch, that thread snapped, and what followed was a blood-soaked spiral no one could contain. It started with Raoul Bushman, his former mercenary partner turned enemy. Bushman left Mark Spector to die, which led to his rebirth under Khonshu. Years later, Mark hunted him down and did something no Avenger would ever consider. He cut off Bushman's face. No remorse, just a clean, surgical removal. That moment flipped a switch. Moon Knight went from unstable to fully fractured. After that, he started branding criminals with his crescent symbol, not to scare them, but to mark them for death. Once they hit prison, other inmates knew what the mark meant. They didn't last long. He started abusing painkillers, alienated his friends. His relationship with Khonshu turned from divine guidance to full-on psychological warfare. Mark would argue with visions of the moon god wearing Captain America's face. Taskmaster stepped up to fight. Mark didn't bother trading blows. He dropped a plane on him. Not a metaphor, a full aircraft used like a hammer. His spiral hit its peak in the Warren Ellis run. And when a criminal tried to escape, Mark dropped a remote-controlled moonjet on him. He wasn't chasing justice, he was ending problems. Iron Man. Tony Stark didn't explode in rage or fall off the wagon. His crash-out came through control, cold, calculated control, until it all collapsed on top of him. It started with Civil War. After a young superhero team accidentally caused the deaths of over 600 civilians, Stark backed the Superhuman Registration Act, turning superheroes into state employees. Some saw logic, others saw betrayal. But Stark wasn't budging. He formed CLD's Cape Killers, tracked unregistered heroes, and turned Spider-Man into his poster boy, even giving him the Iron Spider suit. When Peter switched sides, Tony sent villains like Venom and Bullseye after him. This wasn't heroism. This was wartime intel wrapped in armor. He cloned Thor using a single strand of hair. The result, a weapon called Ragnarok, killed Giant Man during battle. He showed a flicker of regret, but kept moving. For him, the mission stayed above everything. Then came Secret Invasion. The Skrulls infiltrated Earth's highest ranks, and Tony's defense systems failed. Stark was blamed, fired, publicly disgraced. His entire tech infrastructure was compromised, and he became the face of a planet caught sleeping. But Tony didn't beg for redemption. He deleted his own mind. To stop Norman Osborn from getting his secrets, Stark ran a virus through his brain, erasing himself piece by piece. Genius-level memory, skills, knowledge, gone. He reduced himself to a shell to protect the world from his own legacy. This wasn't a drinking relapse or a rogue AI. It was Tony Stark destroying Tony Stark to keep the damage from spreading. When he rebooted later using a digital backup, even he admitted, that wasn't really me anymore. Hal Jordan. He was the poster boy of the Green Lantern Corps, fearless, loyal, and pure willpower in human form, until the day Coast City was wiped off the map. You see, in the aftermath of Reign of the Supermen, Cyborg, Superman, and Mongol annihilated Coast City, killing 7 million people. Hal flew in too late, and when he saw the ashes of his hometown, something broke. He tried using his ring to recreate the city, street by street, person by person. The Guardians told him it was forbidden, so Hal snapped. In Emerald Twilight, he flew straight to Oa and carved through the core like a chainsaw. Lantern after lantern fell. Kilowog, his best friend, gone. He crushed the battery, absorbed its full power, and became Parallax, the most dangerous being in the galaxy. And the scariest part? He never once hesitated. As Parallax, Hal tried to rewrite time during 0 Hour, attempting to erase the universe and rebuild it the right way. Not for power, but for control, to fix the mistakes, to play God. Eventually, he sacrificed himself to reignite Earth's sun during Final Night, but the damage was done. His legacy was ash. Years later, DC retconned it. They said Hal had been influenced by a fear entity named Parallax, but that's the thing. He wasn't possessed. He made choices. He killed lanterns. He betrayed the core. And when he was resurrected, he didn't hide from it. He owned it. Superman. The meltdown didn't come from kryptonite or a villain's master plan. It came from a single moment of loss. In the Injustice universe, Superman's entire life shattered when the Joker tricked him into killing Lois Lane, along with their unborn child and half of Metropolis. That one act detonated Clark Kent's worldview. He didn't mourn, he imposed order. The next day, Superman punched a hole through Joker's chest. No justice, no trial, just finality. From that point on, Earth's greatest protector decided peace was no longer negotiable. It was enforceable. He formed a regime, conscripted heroes, and demanded loyalty. Those who resisted, like Green Arrow and Batman, were marked as enemies. When Oliver Queen defied him, Superman beat him to death in the Fortress of Solitude. And this wasn't some brief detour. Over the next 5 years, Superman ruled like a dictator. He set up surveillance, controlled world governments, and turned the Justice League into an army. Even Shazam and Flash followed orders, unsure but unwilling to challenge him. Superman vaporized Green Lantern Guy Gardner mid-sentence. No warning, no fight, just execution. It was a message, cold, direct, and final. The one man who always stood for restraint, integrity, and mercy. The man who once said, "There's always another way," turned into the man who made sure there wasn't. In Justice, Superman didn't fall. He redefined what falling meant. He stopped being a hero. He became the reason Earth needed one. The Beast used to be the heart of the X-Men. Brilliant, compassionate, always the voice of reason when the world spiraled. But somewhere between solving time and rewriting biology, Hank McCoy cracked. It started subtly. In the Utopia and Schism era, Beast started questioning Cyclops' leadership, especially how far Scott was willing to go to preserve mutant kind. But Hank's solution wasn't debate, it was disruption. So, during All New X-Men, Beast pulled the original 5 X-Men from the past, dragging their younger selves into the present to teach Scott a lesson. And when people warned him about the timeline damage, he didn't flinch. He told them he had already died once and didn't fear breaking reality again. It was narcissistic sabotage disguised as science. Then came X-Force. Beast joined Black Ops and became something else entirely. Surveillance, targeted hits, experimentation, Hank leaned into them all. In Percy's run, Beast turned Krakoa's secret service into a private dictatorship. He built clone armies, ran mind-wipe ops, and neutralized threats before they even acted, all under one rule: protect the timeline at any cost. Then came the breaking point. Beast killed Wolverine, dissected him, cloned him, and turned him into a remote-controlled assassin. Every time Logan died, Beast reset the clone and sent it out again like a living weapon. When Wolverine finally found the truth, he told Beast to shut the program down. Beast refused, because in his mind, he wasn't a madman. He was right. The Beast didn't lose his mind. He evolved beyond accountability. No longer the moral compass of mutant kind, Hank became something worse, the genius who saw every rule as optional. And no one knows how far he's still willing to go. Jean Grey. Her crash didn't come from anger, it came from power she couldn't contain. In the Dark Phoenix saga, Jean bonded with the Phoenix Force, a cosmic entity that amplifies emotions and raw potential. At first, it saved her life. It made her stronger than ever. Telepathy, telekinesis, matter manipulation. She was rewriting the laws of physics on instinct. But then, it all spiraled. While traveling through space with the X-Men, Jean, now Phoenix, got manipulated by the Hellfire Club. They didn't corrupt her through violence. They messed with her mind, convincing her she was someone else entirely. And when the illusion broke, Jean lost control. The Phoenix took over. What followed was cosmic genocide. Jean flew into space and wiped out an entire star system, incinerating billions of lives just to feed her hunger. One star, one moment, 5 billion lives gone. When she returned to Earth, her allies tried to help her regain control, but it was too late. The Shi'ar Empire arrived and demanded justice, not for crimes against mutants, for mass murder on a galactic scale. The X-Men fought to save her. She fought to save them from herself. In the end, she didn't ask to be stopped. She made the choice. On the moon, after briefly regaining her humanity, she activated a Kree weapon and killed herself to end the threat of the Phoenix. She came back years later, but the damage stuck. Every resurrection, every version of Jean carried the weight of that collapse. After wiping out a star system, the label of hero didn't come back with her. Only the fear did. She was the girl who died as a god. So now you've seen heroes tear down everything they once protected. Some in anger, some in grief, and some in total silence. But here's the real question. If you had their powers, their trauma, and their pressure, which one of these meltdowns would you actually survive, and which one would you become? Let us know. The line between hero and villain might be thinner than you think.